Welcome everyone to the webinar. It's so nice to see you all here. This webinar here, we are holding a space for all of us to learn, heal if you wish, and then move on and be extraordinary free and to be energized to achieve all your goals. What if I tell you that we have been told whatever we have been told is wrong? Yeah. About achieving our goals. Work really hard, grinding, hustling, still not getting anywhere, not getting the feeling of worthiness, of success, and it's not really who we are. It is our programming. Some people just get everything they desire with such ease, minimal effort. What do they do? What do they have we do not? This webinar is a step toward uncovering that secret. I will begin with a quote from Maya Angelou. You may not control all that events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. I will also add a quote from Rumi, a mystic poet. He says, when you let go of who you are, you become who you might be. As we grow, we experience pain, hurt, sufferings, which are not in our control. However, healing and finding freedom from them, it is every human being's own responsibility. Today, we will learn how to let go of that hurt and pain and be free. For this purpose, we have amazing speaker and guest here, and her name is Cindy Maharaj. She has joined us from Canada. Cindy is founder of Hypnosis Solutions Center. Cindy specializes in helping people move beyond stress, limited belief, and subconscious patterns using hypnosis and integrative healing methods. Through her work, Cindy combines hypnosis with holistic healing approaches to help clients create change from inside out. Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of subconscious mind, my favorite route, why we repeat the patterns and how healing happens. Now we are going to welcome Cindy, and Cindy will tell us. Cindy, how do we get started on a healing journey? And how did you begin the journey for yourself? And how can you help others in finding and achieving these goals? So, Cindy, without further ado, please join us. Let's welcome Cindy Maharaj from Canada.
Hello, Girl Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Well, my name is Cindy Maharaj. I'm a certified professional hypnotist from Toronto, Canada. Wow, this has been such a pleasure to be here with you, Girl Nice. I'm truly honored and grateful for this opportunity to share this space with you and everyone here. I'm excited, most of all, for our conversation today. You asked about my healing journey, like what really happened, and I started this journey. Let's just say that my healing journey, this journey that I've been on, really started as a happy accident, I call it, right? Um, One of my friends, actually my friends on Facebook, they reached out to me and they asked me if they can just practice. They've been learning this new modality, right? And she just wanted to just practice with someone. And I'm like, sure, why not? I didn't even think twice of it. So at that time, right, I had the fear of enclosed spaces. like elevators, getting on a plane was, my heart used to race, right? I was very panicky in that situation. But Gulnaz, there was a fear that I carried with me and I didn't tell anyone about. And the fear was I couldn't go to a bathroom. I had to leave the door slightly open. I couldn't close the door, nor could I even lock the door. So my privacy, it was like, I couldn't have that privacy. So I remember that it had a moment that I went to the gym. This is so embarrassing for me. But I went to the gym and the woman at the gym, they had to stand by the door so no one can come in, right? But honestly, it was embarrassing for me. But at that time, I really thought that this was my normal. I just thought, okay, this is just something I have to work with. I just, this is my normal, my life, right? But when she asked me, hey, do you want to work, practice this modality, for her to practice this modality on me, I'm like, yeah, let's just do it. And I can say that that session ended up really life-changing for me, right? The modality was called body-mind bridge. Okay. At that time, I didn't really fully understand what it was, right? She just explained it just briefly. Hey, it's just visualization, imagery, that's it. And I didn't know anything about it. So I'm like, okay, I trust her, right? And I will just go with whatever comes. And wow, that actually changed my life. It was something different. I felt, right? I felt more grounded. I felt deep. Um, I felt like if I was really like learning to trust myself in a really new way. And that entire process, like I'll tell you, like when I was in that process, visualization, I actually saw my mom who actually passed on. And I got to realize that I wasn't scared of the elevator or the fear of the bathrooms or anything like that. What I got to realize, I was scared of the unknown. The root cause, the root of all of these symptoms, as I call it, is really was the fear of the unknown. So through that modality, I got to realize I was scared, fearful of the unknown. And then what happened is that I got a mantra, trust the process, right? It was just like trust the process. And now that actually I incorporate that in my life, like trust the process, whatever comes. But even after that session, not only now that I am, even after the session, and even now, I am not even closing the door in the bathroom. I'm even locking the door in the bathroom. I'm going in elevators. I am flying, right, all over. There's no panic attack or nothing like that, right? That is really, that was something really helpful for me as an individual. So what happened is that a few weeks has passed, right? And then actually I meet up with her and I said, hey, you know what? This really, really works. I'm interested. What is this, right? And she said, okay, fine. It is Body Mind Bridge, and I'll let you go to I'll introduce you to the teacher. And I'm like, okay. So she gave me the contact of the teacher and and then I decided to take the course myself, right? But not until I completed a course, right, that I realized that it wasn't visualization, it wasn't imagery, it was called hypnosis. So this was the first introduction to hypnosis as a modality, right? And about a year later, then I went to Arizona and then I became a professional certified hypnotist. And then I came back and I opened up my office and then I started to really work with clients. So this is where my journey began and there it is right now. So thank you for asking.
Wow. First of all, thank you. Thank you so much for being so open and so vulnerable in front of all of us. And I felt it. I felt that openness, that love, that trust that you did put it in us. We appreciate your sharing. And we are so proud of your journey and your accomplishments.
Yeah.
So,
Thank
hooray. Thank you. Thank you for being very open and candid. Now, Cindy,
Yes.
please tell us if people know, what
Mhm.
do they need to do? Why is the change still so difficult? And what creates the gap between knowing and doing to get that? Please enlighten us.
Okay, that's a great question. Um, Personally, I think one of the biggest misconception out there is that people believe change happens through willpower alone, right? Let's face it, if that was really true, then everyone who wanted to, say, lose weight or stop procrastinated or even like leave a toxic relationship from personal experience, even start a business, right, would have already done it, right? But the truth is knowing and doing are two completely different things, right? Most people already know what they should do, right? Let's face it, with internet out there and Google and all this technology out there, the information is everywhere, right? We know we should exercise, we know we should set boundaries, we know we should like manage stresses, not stresses and good for our body, right? And take better care of ourselves. But yet, many people still struggle to follow through. And why does this happen? Because change doesn't happen at the level of information alone. It happens at the level of the subconscious mind. The conscious mind wants change, and while the subconscious mind only wants safety. See, the conscious mind says, I want this promotion, I want this relationship, I want this healthier lifestyle, right? I want to eat better, right? But meanwhile, it's the subconscious is asking, is it safe? What might happen if I change, right? For example, someone may want to grow their business, right? But if deep down they associate success with, let's say, criticism, pressure, visibility, they may unconsciously avoid the very actions that will help them succeed. My gosh, I've seen so many people who generally want like confidence, but every time an opportunity appears, they pull back. Not because they lack the ability, but because a deeper part of them was trying to protect them. And here's what I often like tell people, my clients, when safety and change are in conflict, guess who wins? Not change. Safety always, always wins. That's why the issue is really a lack of motivation. Most people don't need, I always say this, most people don't need information. They need transformation, not information.
Wow. Cindy, I must say I will, because I am myself certified hypno counselor, but the way you have, in the words that you have, because you're very good with imagery, naturally. So the way you described it, it's amazing. And you are absolutely right. Now, since that you have started talking about subconscious, so let's just explore subconscious a little bit more.
Okay.
What role does the subconscious mind play in our daily choices, habits, and behaviors? What do you say about that?
Ooh, okay. The subconscious mind, I like to say it's like a autopilot system, right? And this autopilot system is running quietly in the background of our lives, right? I like to give this analogy. Think about driving a car, right? When you first was learning to drive a car, you have to learn how to steer, you have to learn the brake, you have to learn the all of these things, right? The brake, the gas, all of these things. You had to think about every single step, right? Looking back, everything. But then when you get used to it, now you can drive somewhere and sometimes you barely remember the trip, right? Because you are so used to it. It's on habit, right? It's on autopilot, right? That's your subconscious mind at work, right? The same thing happens with habits, emotional reactions, and behaviors. For example, right? I ask myself this question. There are two people. Two people receive the same exact criticism, right? One person sees it as feedback. The other one feels hurt by it, right? And it feels defensive, right? Just imagine this. The event is the same, but what is different? The programming is different. You see, for one person, the subconscious stores experiences and creates patterns designed to keep us safe. So for that one person who feel defensive, probably had a different programming. Okay. And the challenge is that some of those patterns were created years ago, and these patterns no longer serve us now in this present time, right? When we think we're making decisions, we often just repeating those reprogramming, like those programming patterns over and over again. And until we become aware of that programming, those programming actually quietly run our lives, our day-to-day lives, right? Your subconscious mind is running, I like to say, your subconscious mind is running yesterday's software until we update it, right? So the beautiful thing is that first thing is that awareness. Awareness gives us the opportunity to choose something different in our lives. Yeah. I
Well,
hope I answered your question.
yes, you did. And
Lovely.
yes, you did explain it beautifully. Now, you did mention limiting beliefs. Let's
Mhm.
just dig down a little bit more so that our attendees or whoever will be listening to the webinar can understand how are these limiting beliefs formed and how
Mhm.
do they quietly shape our reality? Can those beliefs truly be changed? Please enlighten us.
Okay. Limiting beliefs, in my opinion, they often begin during in okay. Limiting beliefs, I believe, all starts in childhood, right? When an emotionally significant moment happen, right? These limiting beliefs are formed, especially in childhood. But with that being said, I'm not saying that in the 20s or 30s, when something happened, those beliefs will not be instilled with you. But a childhood, in your childhood era, it's very, see, children actually absorb everything, right? We don't even have to speak, right? Children absorbs the environment also, right? Children don't have the ability to analyze like experiences the way adults do, right? They simply make meaning from from them, right? A child raises, okay, for example, a child raises their hand in class to answer, let's say, a question, right? And unfortunately, the answer was not correct. The answer was incorrect. Then the children will laugh at the child, right? The children, the classmates probably laugh at the child. Now, the child unconsciously decides, okay, you know what? It's not safe to speak up anymore. I am not going to speak up no more because every time I speak up and I will be criticized, I'll be laughed at, right? Another child hears criticism over and over and over again, and decides, I'm not good enough, right? Um, Even from my clients, like from the experience I have with my clients, simple things such as parents or grandparents just holding their cheeks and say, oh my gosh, your cheeks are so chubby, your cheeks are so fat, right? They unconsciously thinking, oh my gosh, I am fat, right? So that belief becomes a lens through which they see themselves, and they see the world with that lens too. So, and what happened is that years will pass and then they will grow up believing that they are chubby, they are fat, right? And the child who will not want to speak up, right? They will probably avoid speaking up in meetings. They will probably avoid even starting the business because they have to speak. Eventually, they will avoid pursuing opportunities, right? And this is not because they aren't capable, but because that old belief is still running in the background. Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Thank you for, and I love that you're explaining the analogy, but such like everyday language, which is phenomenal. It's like easy to understand and absorb for everyone. Thank you. Now, since that you have mentioned how these limiting beliefs are formed, please, please share with us how do these childhood experiences and these family patterns continue to influence us even as we become adults?
Mm.
Please share with us.
Okay. As I mentioned before, children are constantly learning from us, even when we think they are not learning from us. Okay. They learn by watching us. They learn by feeling, not even us, the society, the teachers, everyone, right? They're sponges, so they keep learning. They learn by watching. They learn by feeling. They learn by experiencing, right? And if a child grows up in a home where emotions are never discussed, they may become an adult who struggle to express feelings. If a child grows up hearing constant worry about, let's say, money, right? They may carry that anxiety, that financial anxiety into adulthood. Most people assume these patterns are simply part of their identity, their personality, right? But often those are just learned responses, right? And one of my favorite questions is, where did I learn this? Right? Because there's where healing begins, right? As I like to say, children are always learning, even when no one is teaching them. Okay. And sometimes we live by rules we never, let's say, consciously agreed to, right? Understanding where a pattern came from doesn't mean blaming anyone, right? It simply gives us the awareness needed to create something totally different.
Wow. I can imagine that. You see, there is like a whole different world beneath our conscious mind, that what is actually pulling the strings and holding us and,
Mhm.
putting us on the path. Thank you. Now,
Okay.
moving on to, you truly explained wonderfully how are these limiting beliefs, they are formed, how the child mind works, and they absorb. Now we are grown up. So please share with us, why do people keep repeating the same patterns in relationships, money, work, health, or even relationship with their self and relationship with the world, growth, learning, and whatnot? So please enlighten us. Why do people do that?
Wow, this is another great, great, great question. Thank you. This one, this is one of the most fascinating things about the subconscious mind. Okay. The subconscious mind values anything that is familiar, anything that is your comfort zone, right? But your subconscious mind is wired for anything that is familiar, not necessarily for what serves you best. Okay? So let's say again, someone grew up around emotional distance, criticism, chaos, inconsistency. Those experiences become so familiar to them, right? And as adults, they may unknowingly recreate those same dynamics. Okay. For example, someone may repeatedly choose emotionally unavailable partners, not because they enjoy the suffering, but because that dynamic feels familiar to them, right? You think that that you can even change that person, right? I've also seen people get very close to success and then pull back. Not because they don't want the success, but because success feels unfamiliar to them, right? And what happens is that often what I've seen is that the subconscious would rather choose what's familiar than step into the unknown. That's why I often say we don't always recreate what we want. We often recreate what we know. Okay. So yeah. And when the same challenge actually keeps coming up and showing up in your life, right? It's often carrying a message. And that message, honestly, is worth listening to.
Wow. Wow. I must say that, it's like, I don't know if the participants like onion or not, but it's like peeling one layer and like, whoa, there's something more and more and more. And it's like I'm getting goosebumps even by learning again. So since that you have mentioned the comfort zone or the familiar zone, so Cindy, please share with us, even though you said that we
Mm.
people want success or anything they desire,
Mhm.
why do people sabotage success,
Right.
happiness, or healing when they genuinely want it so bad?
Okay. Sigilnas. Oh, I don't really call this like self-sabotage, right? With my clients and when they tell, they come and I've seen like the self-sabotage, I don't call it like self-sabotage because I understand how the mind works. I actually call it self-protection, right? And when I see we actually call it that, like self-protection, that little mindset, right? That little mindset alone changes everything, right? Because instead of, I'll say people, instead of my clients or people in general, see themselves as broken, they start seeing themselves as just human being, right? Because we know, you and I know what is happening, right? But other people, they really do not know, right, what is happening to them. So, I'd like to give an example again. I like to give a lot of examples so people can actually understand, right, what it is, right? So, let's say again, because you're growing your business, right? And so let's say someone wants to grow their business. Consciously, they're excited about their business, right? They're excited about everything about it, right? The money that they'll make, the relationships that they will have, right? But subconsciously, what is happening in the background? It's fear of judgment, it's rejection, it's the visibility, it's the, oh my gosh, failure. And even, believe it or not, some people is even scared of success. They are totally scared of success. So what happens is that they procrastinate, they overthink, they wait for the perfect moment. But trust me, there's no actually perfect moment, right? And what happened is that that perfect moment never comes, right? So everybody looking at them will think, oh my gosh, they're just lazy, right? It looks like laziness from the outside, right? But from the inside, Gulnaz, is actually fear, right? And with my clients, right, I tell them, I said, self-sabotage is often self-protection in disguise, right? And the subconscious mind is not trying to hurt you, it's trying to protect you. The role of the subconscious mind is just keeping you safe, right? But the problem is that it's often protecting you from something that is no longer dangerous, right? So resistance isn't your enemy at all, it's just a messenger. So, I often tell my clients, instead of asking what's wrong with me, try asking, what is this protecting me from, right? And honestly, that question changes everything.
Wow. I love this analogy, Cindy. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Even though who are listening and who will be watching the recording as well, I love the how did you change the script? Like instead of self-sabotage, why don't we come towards as a friend and a comfortly towards it's not self-sabotage, it is self-protection for us. Beautiful. Love that, Cindy. I love that term. Now, stress is takes effect on us. So, Cindy, please share how do stress, unresolved emotions, and past experiences affect the mind and the body?
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. I like to say, okay, that our bodies are listening to everything that is happening to us, good and bad, okay, to every experience we have, right? Let's think about it for a second. When you feel a bit stressed, what happens to you, right? Um, your shoulders, will actually be tightened a bit, right? Some some people, they cannot sleep, their stomach, right, feel very unsettled, right? Stress isn't just a mental experience. It's a whole body experience, right? When stress becomes chronic, the nervous system can get stuck in survival mode, right? I've had clients say to me, Cindy, nothing is wrong, but I constantly feel like on edge all the time, right? And often the body is still responding to something that happened long, long ago, right? But what is happening is that the body is still responding to something that happened long ago, but the mind may understand that the event is over, but the body may not, right? That's why I say the body remembers what the mind tries to forget. Okay. Um, this I will share a personal story of mine again with you because this actually happened to me, and that's why I believe this. Okay. Because I believe that the mind, as I said, that the mind actually holds everything, but then the body stores, right? So the body remembers what the mind tries to forget. So my story is when I was younger, when I was 16 years old, unfortunately, my mom passed away. And when I was 18, my dad passed away, right? And at that time, I truly believe that I had processed my grief. I thought I worked through the sadness of losing my parents at such a young age. Um, and I believe that I processed all the emotions that came with it, right, during my years. But years later, I discovered that there was one emotion that I never really fully released, right? The body knew that emotion, but my mind just didn't, right? So what was happening is that over time, my body started communicating with me through different ailments and symptoms. Um, I didn't understand what was happening. Right? This is my experience, okay? So I'm just sharing it, right? But what was interesting is that by then I was already working in the self-healing industry, right? I was working with my mind. I was doing everything, right? I even did other modalities because I'm someone who loved learning. I tried numerous like healing modalities, but I still didn't uncover what was really underneath it all, right? Then I experienced energy work. And then during that session, Gona, something unexpected came to surface. I realized that I was carrying not sadness, not grief, anything like that. I was carrying anger, deep anger that my parents had passed away and left me in such a young age. Had never consciously recognized it before because I never felt that anger in my body. I never felt it at all, right? And then that moment, that emotion was like acknowledged, it was released. And to be honest, I remember that I felt like I could have breathed again. I felt released. And from then, it was like that was a powerful lesson for me that the mind may forget, but the body remembers, right? So, with that being said, like sometimes the emotions we think we've moved on, right? From are still living inside us, waiting to be heard, waiting to be seen, waiting to be released, right? And when they are finally, I say, free, released, everything actually changes. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I thank you. We are very grateful for to you to sharing that such a powerful story and being so vulnerable. By the way, Brene Brown says that vulnerability is superpower. So
Mhm.
if someone opens up and say, "Hey, this happens to me," it's a superpower. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
So moving ahead in this subconscious mind, emotions, and energy connections, could you please tell us what is this connection between the subconscious, mind, emotions, and energy now that you have mentioned?
Okay. From my experience, I like to think of them as three parts of the same, right? Three parts of the same like conversation. Okay. I like to see it as the subconscious mind holds the story. The emotion tell us how the story feels, right? What you feel. And the energy is, let's say it reflects how much of that story we're still carrying. Okay. In, you know what? Let me explain it like this. Okay. So the subconscious holds the story, the emotions hold the feeling, and the energy holds the charge. For example, again, um, let's see what example I can give you. Okay. Someone may know logically that they're worthy. Well, they know, but emotionally, they feel like just like they are not good enough because I've heard this so many times. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough, right? And energetically, what happened? They feel stuck. They feel drained. They feel heavy. Okay. And that's because the conscious mind has changed, but the deeper systems haven't fully caught up. Okay. And that is the energy wasn't released. Okay. The emotion wasn't released. Okay. People, and the thing about it is that people often tell me, I know this like logically, but I don't feel it. I don't feel it. And that's exactly what's been happening. Um, Healing occurs when all of these parts begin working together, right? Like one of my clients, I'll say like from childhood, she never like felt anything, no emotions. And even when I'm working with her, she's just like, let's say, straight face. And I don't know if she's happy. I don't know if she's sad. I'm like, oh my world. It's like, okay. And then we worked together, worked together. And then she came to my office and then she was like, oh my gosh, Cindy, you're such a wizard. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I'm now feeling my emotions because, things happened to her that she shut her emotions. She wasn't feeling anything at all. And I always tell my clients, it's not me. I'm just a guide to you all. You all do all of the work, right? You all actually do everything. And that is what really was amazing that I've seen that. Personally, I've seen that with my clients. Yeah. Okay.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. We love hearing your stories, and you're very, very generous with that. And what it brings us, we can actually see it and figure it out. Like we are all like people, like regular people. We say walking the street, say hi and bye, our neighbors, and they feel deep down such a dynamics, characteristics, and all these the things going on, changing, shifting, and
Mhm.
they can change and shift our reality. So, a question for you is now that how can hypnosis and energetic healing can help create lasting transformation, just like you might, because the topic is from stuckness. How
Mhm.
can they help us to have that lasting transformation?
Mhm. Okay. Okay. I'll explain it this way. Right. Hypnosis helps uncover and update the story that we've been holding on to for too long, right? The story which is not even serving us at this point in our life. Okay. Energetic healing helps us release that charge which is attached to the story. Okay. Um, let's say like someone is fearful of public speaking through hypnosis, right? So they're kind of like stuck, right? Because it's like, I want to do public speaking and I know that I'm good at it, but there's something that's holding me back. I feel like stuck, right? So through hypnosis, we may discover that fear started after childhood experience, right? Where they might be felt like embarrassed or judged, right? And then the subconscious continues reacting as though that experience is still happening, right? So hypnosis will help update that programming, okay? And the energetic healing will help calm the emotional and energetic response still being carried in the body, right? And it will not only calm it, it sometimes it will release it. Okay. And that's why I often say hypnosis helps you write a story, energetic healing helps you release the charge, right? One works, let's just break it down a bit. One works with the programming, right? The other works with all of the stored emotions, the stored response, right? And when together, when both of them are actually released, right? Together, that's a really changing dynamic, a really, really powerful, powerful shift. Yeah.
Wow, I loved the word powerful because this is combining like two portions and then making boom, like a truly powerful transformation. Now, Cindy, the topic today was about the webinar being stuck or feeling stuck. So on this journey, you and I have been this and have some experience in our lives and also, when we work with the clients. So for someone who the word would be a newbie, so a person or someone who feels stuck today, but what is the first step towards real change? And what is the one thing you would want listeners to remember today?
Okay. The first step, the first step I will say is stop judging yourself. Okay. So many people believe they're stuck because they're lazy, they're weak, they're broken, or they're lacking discipline. Please don't believe that. That's not true at all. Okay. I believe that every behavior, makes sense when we understand really the reason behind the behavior. So I like my listeners to start asking, instead of asking themselves, what's wrong with me? Try asking, what is this pattern trying to show me? What is it protecting me from? Okay, what belief might be running in the background? Okay, because Gulnaz, honestly, with the work that I do and with my clients, I keep telling my clients, you are not broken. And I want the listeners to know that you are not broken. You are just, it's just because of this program that is running, silently in you. Okay. And that program can be reprogrammed, right? It can be rewired. Okay. But the biggest thing I will really like for my listeners to remember is this. The goal isn't to become someone new. It's to remove what's blocking you from who you really are. Okay? Because healing isn't about fixing yourself. Healing is about, from experience, healing is about finding yourself. Okay? And when you understand this, you'll replace judgment with something remarkably happens. When you start replacing that, something remarkably happens. You'll stop fighting yourself. You'll start working with yourself. And often that's when real change begins, Gonas.
Wow. Wow, Cindy, it's like, thank you. Because once we go through this class and course, we never get a chance to go and get a refresher course. So thank you. You and I are both like having a refresher course, and the attendees and whoever will watch this webinar, they are so fortunate getting all this knowledge and watching the recording over and over. You can jot it down, take the notes, and take all that caption and see. Thank you. Now, before we move forward, I would ask one question. You mentioned ailments. So just in one or two sentences, say not all disease or all the symptoms in your body could come from your old reprogramming, but some of the symptoms and disease can be formed from whatever our body is holding in emotion. So just one or two sentences, Cindy, can you just explain this, the disease that the occur or symptoms? Well, what did you mean by that?
For myself, like what?
No, for people
Uh-huh.
who have certain disease, like you said, with anger, your
Mhm.
body develops such some ailments. So what did you mean by that? What does ailments mean?
Oh, what the ailments mean? Okay. From my experience, um, my body, my body was sort of not processing the anger, right? So what happened to me, right? Again, this is my experience. First, I must say this. First, before anyone come to my office and they say ailments, or have any sort of ailments, I ask them, firstly, did you go by the doctor and what is the diagnosis? Okay. I am not claiming that all, patterns or beliefs actually um, make you or have you will have ailments because of your belief or your patterns, right? Or your programming. Let's just make that clear. But for mine, it was the anger was stuck really in my heart area. Okay. And that is what I was speaking about when I say ailments, right? Little things, let's say like shoulder pain or stuff like that, right? It can be those things can actually manifest from what has happened to you in childhood, or even I had clients who came here and it was skin disease, right? And the skin disease was because of boundaries. She couldn't she didn't have boundaries when she was younger, right? And when I worked with her, she actually that was cured, right? I wouldn't say cured, that was oh. She got really relief from that, right? So what I'm saying is that with ailments, the ailments can come from a lot of ailments, right? But again, make sure and go to the doctor and make sure it's nothing, because it can be inheritary also. It can be, life, dangerous situations, right? So again, I don't really like to really touch on what it is because that's a kind of sensitive topic,
Yeah.
right? When in my line of work. So that's why I was like really hesitant to say, right? But I will talk from my personal experience. It was mainly in my heart area. And but now, thank God, everything is fixed and everything is fine and I'm okay. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for again sharing. And one thing I would add with all our for our participants and who will be watching and listening to this is that hypnosis cannot work. We hypnotists do not work with undiagnosed pain or mental disorders who are diagnosed with psychiatrists or other mental practitioners because we are not clinically certified to diagnose that. So I just wanted to, and everything is written in disclaimer as well. So now it's already 3. We have very few minutes left just for a brief session with to relaxation or de-stress, and it's not a long session. You can read the disclaimer now. A brief session to give you an idea what happens in a original session, which goes from 45 to 50 to 60 minutes, and it is induction, it is the trance, and then there is emergence, which you are coming out. However, read the disclaimer, please. And if you feel every hypnosis is self-hypnosis, if you feel uncomfortable, if you feel triggered, and if you feel like okay, this is not for me, you can step out and walk out at any minute, because we are not controlling you in any way. But if you want to stay and carry on with the experience, you are welcome with open mind and open heart. Just read the disclaimer first. I will give 30 seconds to go over the disclaimer again. And then Cindy will give a very brief session of relaxation, probably from 7 to 8 minutes. And there you go. So Cindy, whenever you're ready, please give instructions what to do, relax. It's up to you. The floor is yours, Cindy.
Okay, thank you again, Gulnaz. Okay, everyone who wants to participate in this relaxation hypnosis session, please find a comfortable place where you can sit back and relax. Okay, lovely. So, now you're in a comfortable place, you sit and you relax in. Now, gently close your eyes. Lovely. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Okay. And gently let everything go. That's good. Another slow, deep breath in. And as you exhale, imagine releasing the day. The conversations, the responsibilities, the things still waiting for your attention. Good. For the next few minutes, none of them need you. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, imagine releasing the tension in your body. Good. Now allow your shoulders to soften. Allow your jaw to relax. Allow the muscles around your eye to relax. Good. Now bring your awareness to the top of your head. Imagine a wave of relaxation beginning there. A warm, comforting feeling. And this wave now is flowing down through your forehead. It's relaxing your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw, your neck, even your shoulders. Every breath taking you deeper, every breath allowing you to let go just a little bit more and more and more. Good. Now, in a moment, imagine that you're standing at the top of 10 gentle steps. These steps lead to a beautiful place of peace and calm. And with each number I count, you can allow yourself to drift deeper, deeper into comfort. 10, letting go. 9, feeling lighter. 8, relaxing even more. 7, 6, feeling calm now. 5, you're halfway down now. 4, 3, deeply relaxed. 2, almost there. And 1, completely relaxed. At the bottom of those steps, you discover a peaceful sanctuary, a place where stress cannot follow, a place where your mind and body can finally rest. As you settle into this peaceful place, imagine that you are sitting beside a beautiful river. The water flows effortlessly. It doesn't rush. It doesn't force. It simply moves in its own natural rhythm. And as you watch the water flowing, imagine every stressful thought becoming a leaf floating on the river. A worry, a responsibility, a pressure, a fear. One by one, place them on the water and simply watch them drift away. No need to hold on to them. No need to solve them. Not right now. Just let them go. Further and further downstream, they drift away. And as they drift away, notice how much lighter you begin to feel. Because stress is not who you are, it's only something you've been carrying. And carrying something for a long time can feel like it's part of you, but it isn't. Beneath the stress, beneath the worry, beneath the pressure, there is a calm and capable version of you. A version of you that already knows how to navigate life challenges, a version of you that trusts, a version of you that breathes, a version of you that remains steady even when the life becomes uncertain. And right now, that part of you is becoming stronger. It's becoming more accessible. It's becoming more natural. Good. Take a deep breath and imagine breathing calm into every part of your body. Breathing calm into your mind. Breathing calm into your nervous system. Your body remembers how to relax. Your mind remembers how to be still. Your nervous system remembers balance. And from this moment forward, each day becomes easier. Easier to release tension, easier to let go of what you cannot control, easier to trust yourself. Whenever life feels overwhelming, you automatically remember to pause, to breathe, to connect, to reconnect with yourself. Because peace is not something you earn after everything is finished. Peace is available to you right now. And every day you become better choosing it. Imagine yourself tomorrow moving through your day feeling lighter, calmer, more grounded, more centered. Notice yourself responding with ease, thinking clearly, breathing deeply, trusting yourself, and know that your subconscious mind is already creating those positive changes. Even after the session is complete, the calm you feel now continues growing, strengthening, expanding into every area of your life. Because this calm is not something inside of you, it's always been with you. You are simply remembering how to access it. And perhaps there's one message your subconscious mind wants you to hear today. You do not have to carry everything. You do not have to be everything for everyone. You are allowed to rest. You're allowed to receive support. You're allowed to breathe. And most importantly, you are enough exactly as you are. Okay. I'll stay quiet just for a few moments just to allow these words to settle into your subconscious mind. Good. In a moment, I'll count from 1 to 5, and as I do, you'll return to full awareness, bringing back with you a renewed sense of calm, a renewed sense of clarity, and a deeper connection to yourself. You'll feel energized and revitalized on the count of 5, bringing back awareness, sense of calm with you. 1, becoming aware of your body. 2, bringing back fresh energy within your body. 3, feeling lighter and refreshed. 4, taking a deep, deep breath in. And 5, eyes wide open, feeling fully refreshed and energized.
Oh, wow. Okay, I need to take a moment. I felt like I'm back from a vacation. Thank you
Lovely.
so much, Cindy. It's amazing. Your voice is so soothing. And I could truly, all my body, even specifically my shoulders, they were just like now here. And
Mhm.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
holding this space for all of us, just for our healing. Thank you.
You're most
This,
welcome.
your thank you. This, my friend, is a sessions that people pay, and we are all here to serve you. So thank you all for being here. Now, the time is now, we don't have that much time, but so I am going to end this webinar. I will be staying after to answer the questions though. So thank you so much, Cindy, for finding this time from your life, from your family, from your career, your business, and most importantly, from part of your life, for being here with us, for holding this space and sharing this, such knowledge, which are all golden nuggets. And people will hear, and if they find peace and acknowledgments and enlightenment, how wonderful it will that be. Thank you for your generosity. Any ending words, Cindy, before you go? However, I will share your contact info, her business info. She will be here. Thank you so much. Some of the comments I'm hearing, but I cannot mention the name because it's recording, but I will mention it to her after the recording for the confidentiality, of course. Cindy, please share us some parting words, even though you will be staying in our hearts and our minds, and you will be in our thoughts, and we will be sending your love, power, healing, and abundance. Cindy, please share some wisdom before we leave.
First of all, Gulnaz, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. This has been really enlightening for me as well. I love to speak about the subconscious mind, and I love that, the listeners was appreciative of it too. And one thing I'll leave with you, I like to for everyone to just know, again, you are not broken. I love for everyone to just know, just you have to believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself and everything will work out. I like to leave the mantra, just trust the process, whatever, because life, whenever I look at life, a lot of people is like, oh my God, why does that life is not like this? If you really think, if your life is like this, therefore you're dead, right? Right? Life's supposed to have its ups and downs, right? And when it is that something is not going your way, be grateful, right? Because what I've learned in my life and my journey is that when it is that something isn't going your way, is actually a lesson. It's a lesson that is something that probably you have to learn, right? It's a lesson probably you have to teach someone, right? So the most important thing is really believe in yourself and trust the process, whatever it may be, And Girl Nights, again, thank you. Thank you for this lovely platform. This platform is wonderful that you are bringing, people into this platform to speak about how, you can really help yourself, right, and help others. And I love this. I love this really, really much. And thank you, blessings to you, for continuing this platform. And I love you. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here and listening. And yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Cindy. Before you go, we would end this webinar. I wanted to start a webinar with this powerful quote, and it says, "And once the storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through. But one thing is certain, when you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in." That's what this storm's all about. Haruki and Murakami. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you again, Cindy, for such wisdom and this golden nuggets you share with your generosity. And who will be hearing this. Thank you so much. See you all at our next webinar. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the day and rest of your life. And if you have learned something, I will be putting this on with her consent on the YouTube channel. I will be sharing everything with you. So send some comments and watch this. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.